Anthony and Beata Cosgrove have found their dream home on a picturesque hillside overlooking Bath, but it needs a complete overhaul.
Obviously, there's lots and lots to do.
They want to know more about its history.
It'd be interesting to know who else lived here.
And have plans to restore it to its former glory. Their first priority is the sitting room, but Anthony's so enthusiastic he's getting carried away elsewhere in the house and has begun ripping out what's left of the kitchen.
This is a nasty job, don't you think, Leah?
I see we used to have a blue ceiling here. That's interesting.
To help Anthony concentrate on the matter in hand, that sitting room restoration, I've got an inspirational visit organised. Packed to the rafters with the weird and the wonderful from all eras, a reclamation yard is just the place to get your creative juices flowing. Well, this is one of my favourite places in the whole wide world because it's got almost anything that your heart desires, from church doors to pillars to shop displays, giant mirrors, aeroplanes. It's just the most fantastic.
Days in here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we need to narrow down what exactly it is you're looking for.
Well, we're all right for biplanes.
Yes.
And we probably don't need any church pillars, but we need quite a lot of other stuff. Internal and external doors, there's some light fittings, a couple of fireplaces would be nice.
All right, well, let's take a start. Lighting's over this way. Should we go and have a look over there?
OK. So we do need some garden furniture as well, don't we?
Yeah.
So you don't think maybe a chandelier? Look at how beautiful and twinkly this is, how it would all twinkle in your house at night.
Really could live without chandeliers. I'd have to go around in a crown and it's just...
It goes well with cream tea, but I don't think it will suit us, no.
No, it's not us, and it's not really the house either, because it's a much plainer, undecorative house, and that would just look miles out of place, I think.
You have a very clear view of what this house is. You've sort of given this house a character already, haven't you?
I think so, yeah. Having said that, we're not quite sure what we want to fill it with.
The couple have very strong opinions, and it's becoming apparent the Victorian style isn't necessarily to their taste. Getting to really know a period look before you commit to it is a good idea. If you're not convinced, it may mean mixing and matching different pieces from various eras to get the look you desire.
Marble is too blingy.
The crowning glory of the room will be the feature fireplace, as long as they can find one they like.
Definitely not marble. No, it's too posh.
Do you think?
Yes.
You think that looks too posh?
I quite like stone fireplaces.
Stone fireplaces, not. So you don't like the marble because the Victorians loved marble.
Do they?
They loved marble. They would have had marble beds if it wasn't so uncomfortable. They loved marble so much. But not your cup of tea. So is there any stone up here? Most of the rest of it's wood, I think. Unfortunately, there are only 2 stone fireplaces. This one, which is £160,000, and this one, which is a little more in their price range at £800. But will they like it?
I think we're looking to make one out of stone.
Yeah, I think that would be a no.
Possibly.
It doesn't really look like what I expect a fireplace to look like.
I suggest you have a look around somewhere that's got a few more stone fireplaces. There are lots of options out there, lots of different stages, lots of different ages of fireplace to go for. You don't want to jump into a decision straight away, do you? That's the main thing. And there are people out there who will make you one in the style of any particular era, where you might actually be able to carve something, as you say. But I think for now, we're pretty much done, aren't we? That's all there is to see here. Time for lunch, I think. What do you think? Yes?
Yes.
Anthony and Beata are leaving empty-handed, but at least they know what they don't want. And remember, in reclamation yards, stock is continuously changing. So, if like them you don't find what you want first time around, keep going back. If you're looking for reclaimed furniture, doors, pretty much anything, even up to the interior of a pub, then go and have a look on lovehome.co.uk. This couple moved to Bath for its tranquility and beauty, but they're by no means the first to do this. Bath was settled by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago because of the area's natural hot springs, which were believed to improve health. Fast forward 1,700 years and once again high society flocked to Bath to enjoy the hot springs' healing qualities. This led to a rapid expansion of Georgian architecture. Of course, Bath stone was the building material of choice, which gives the city its warm golden glow. As Bath's popularity grew, there was a second wave of expansion during Victorian times, when Anthony and Beata's house was built. But that was over 100 years ago, and Newbury is showing signs of being rather careworn, right down to the sitting room floorboards, which have seen better days. Beata and Anthony love the idea of restoring the wooden floor, so they've called in expert Marius McKee.
This is real standard Victorian pine floorboards. They used to paint black around the edge. I'm told they did that when Queen Victoria died. And then the other classic thing is it's been sanded again and varnished in the 60s, 70s. What I'll do, I'll sand a board, so one section of board, then I'll put varnish, hard wax oil and wax. It takes a while to dry, so you'll see a difference obviously straight away, but I'd leave it a day or so before you make a decision, because then you'll see what the finish is like and the colour.
Okay.
The first one is varnish. This is a clear polyurethane varnish. It will darken the wood the least. This is what they call a hard wax oil. The wood will definitely go darker, but have less of a sheen to it. And the third one is a wax. This is a white wax, so it's got no colour in it. They all start off by darkening the wood quite a bit, but as you can see, the varnish is already drying light compared to the other two. These two are the easier to keep in that you just wipe them clean every now and again. The wax is the one that you will be polishing it forevermore.
Yeah, but it's polishing rather than re-waxing.
Yeah, you're not re-waxing it, you're just going over it with a buffer constantly.
What do you think? What's your preference?
If you had servants, I'd say go for wax. I personally prefer the varnish to the oil. Some people want that very kind of natural look, but I prefer to have a bit of a sheen to it. Really.
Before Anthony makes the final decision on the floor, he needs to see the three finishes dry. Anthony and Beata love the period feel of their new property, but after the trip to the reclamation yard, they're not sure about the Victorian look and want some fresh ideas. One of Britain's most celebrated 19th century designers had a house in the Cotswolds, which may throw up some interesting alternatives. This is Kelmscott Manor, the countryside retreat and home of William Morris. It was here that he came up with many of his classic designs like Willow and Daisy, Strawberry Patch, ones that you may well have actually seen and read about. And like Beata and Anthony, this was his place in the countryside where he felt he could get away from it all and start a safer life with his children. We're lucky to get a unique opportunity to take a look around with Anthony and Beata, all on our own. Here you go.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's a nice big fireplace.
Yes, and interestingly, stone fireplace.
Yes.
Which you said is something that you wanted.
Yes, I like this bench here. It's a
Window seat, yeah.
window
seat.
seat, yes.
You have a similar window at your place, don't you?
We did. We could put something like that in that alcove. It'd fit quite nicely.
Yes, yes.
Should we go and see another room?
Yes.
Let's go and see another room. Bring it. William Morris was a leading figure of the arts and craft movement, an international design philosophy that began in England in Victorian times. So it's still the right era for Anthony and Beata's house. Another stone fireplace, if you look over this side.
Ah,
Yes,
that's
that's interesting, isn't it?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
With tiles.
The tiles were of his own design.
These tiles are like walking in a forest with blue birds all around, you know?
The style was anti-industrialism and took its influences from nature and folk art of the past. And you might want to look as you go up to see the tapestries. He's very big on his tapestries, and of course that's a very medieval thing, which he was really into.
Yes, isn't it? Well, this is more like the sort of archetypal William Morris wallpaper I was expecting, really.
Yes, Willow, which is one of the willow prints that he did, and the tree that inspired him is just outside in the back garden. You can see when you go out the back garden, which is very lovely. But yes, this is a lot lighter touch to this, isn't there? Don't you think?
I do
For me,
like
yes.
it,
Definitely,
yes,
yeah.
yes. And I think in a small room it works really well.
I don't think you'd want a vast expanse of this wallpaper because it could be quite intense, couldn't it? But it is attractive because you've got a regular geometric pattern repeated again and again.
Can you see it in your house?
Yes. Yeah, lovely.
I think I could live with this more than I could with anything else that we've seen.
It works really well.
It seems finally Beata and Anthony have found something they like and they can really see working. And finally, into the room where they did all of their work.
A nice space.
Another beautiful fireplace. More unusual wallpaper. What do you think of the wallpaper next to you then?
Well, I quite like that, actually. It's an attractive pattern. Because it's so dark, it would be very overpowering. I don't think we'd go full-on William Morris in every room on every wall or anything like that, but to have some bits of William Morris-esque wallpaper in some of the rooms, I think we definitely would.
For example, I love these tiles. This would be, you know, something that I would love to have next to fireplace.
And you feel more confident about wanting your stone fireplace rather than marble now?
Yes, and keep it simple.
If they really go for the arts and crafts influence, it could be a lively and colourful alternative to the often plain style of the Victorian decor, while still complementing the age and look of the house. Coming up, the fireplace gets torn out, but what's going to replace it? And I discover some shocking history that reveals how lucky it is that their house is still standing. Can you see your house?